them know we behind them.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Good luck.
You can take off.
You're a real one,
Thank you. How you guys doing? I know it's been a few weeks since I've been up here. A lot's happened since then. We've played 2 preseason games. Went down to Cleveland last week. I think the guys are really making a lot of improvement, getting better every day. We've seen some good performances in game by some of our young players. We're really excited about that, and we're in the mode of kind of not necessarily wrapping up training camp, but wrapping up training camp with this being the 3rd game against Philly this week. So today's going to be a big day. It's really our, not our last, but our last official padded practice. We'll really be in more of a scrimmage mode on Thursday. So, again, I think the message to the players today was let's make sure we're taking care of our fundamentals, our techniques, our communication, just playing the style of football we want to play and that we've done. With that said, I think there's some other questions or some other things that you guys want to talk about, so I'll address those too. Specific to the comments that were made by Tua, I just want to say, look, I'm happy, genuinely happy, genuinely happy for the success that Tua's had, and I really wish him nothing but the best. And I think player relationships are very important to me. I think that's kind of the foundation of coaching. I got into coaching because I was impacted as a young guy by my high school coaches, my college coaches, going all the way to Pop Warner. I got into coaching because I want to make that same kind of impact, positive impact, pour into young people, help them become, as KO says all the time, the best versions of themselves. And that's really my goal always in coaching. So I wish nothing but the best to Tua. Really more than anything, I'm just focused on the Vikings, the 2024 Vikings, the players we have. You saw a couple of guys up here, just a couple minutes ago, Metellus and HP. I think, their leadership, their friendship is important to me, and I'm just, I'm excited about this group.
Did you see the relationship the way that he saw the relationship? Did it resonate at all with you when you saw what he said?
I think, part of coaching is correcting. I'm always going to correct. I'm always going to have a high standard. And I think, look, I've done a lot of reflecting and, on this situation and, reflecting on the situation, communication. I think there's things that I could do better, for sure. And I've grown in that way. And I've tried to apply the things that I could do better and the things that I've learned, over the last, 2-3 years. But I would say over the long haul, I've had a lot of great relationships over my 21-year career here in the league. Players, coaches, personnel, equipment, people in the kitchen. Really across the board. I've had a lot of great relationships. I'm going to continue to do that. But I'm also always looking to get better and involved. No different than as a coach, whether it's schematics or personnel or evaluations. I'm always looking to get better. I'm always looking for dialogue in meetings with coaches, with players. I don't care where a good idea comes from. You guys have heard me say that. And, I'm open to getting better. And that's always always my mindset.
The words he used were a terrible person. I'm just curious how that hit you when you saw it.
Look, I'm human. So, that hit me in a way that, I wouldn't say it was, positive for me. But at the same time, I've got to use that and say, hey, how can I grow from that? How can I be better? And that's really where I'm at from that standpoint. Do I feel like, that's me? No. But, how can I grow from that situation and create a world where that's not, the case that anyone says that about Brian Flores?
Do you feel compelled to try to get with him at some point, or have you tried? And this is going on 2 years, 2.5 years, whatever. Like, settle to get this off the topic list.
That's something I've thought about. And maybe when that time is, arises or is available, I'm certainly open to that. But I got a lot of other things going on too, as he does. And again, I'm just really focused on the guys here, and the work that we're putting in here. And one thing that as far as feelings and emotions, I think something like this takes away from the guys here and the work that they're doing. And we've had 2 games and went to Cleveland. We're talking about something else, and it's important. But at the same time, I'm always thinking about our guys and their improvement, and an opportunity for them to get better, and for me to kind of shed light on some of the things that they're doing when I get up here, and not really be talking about me or situation with me. That's, for me, that's in a team sport. I'd rather be talking about them than myself.
Position gets coached the same, or does a quarterback need to have a different relationship based on who that person is in the organization?
I think, I understand the question. I understand the follow-up. But, I'm at a point now where I'm really trying to move forward. I'm really trying to focus on the guys here. I'm always trying to learn and grow and evolve, really in all areas of my life. This is no different. So, I think at some point you got to turn the page, and I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that now.
At all that maybe this came out? I mean, things like this may happen more than we know outside looking in. Were you a little surprised that maybe it came up?
Again, surprised or not surprised, I think it's something that we're dealing with. But like I said, I'd like to turn the page and really focus on our guys.
Right, do you feel like a different coach now than you were back then?
I think, look, in all professions, if you're staying the same, you're pretty much, getting worse. So, like I said earlier, I think I've gotten better, improved in a lot of areas. As a coach, as a parent, as a husband, in all these areas. And I just try to, daily improve and get better and evolve. And so, yes, I think I've improved.
Did it mean to have those 2 guys standing there in the beginning for you?
It meant a lot.
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot of support from a lot of people, in this building and, other buildings as well. I was flooded with text messages yesterday. So that's nice. But at the same time, it's a team sport. I don't ever want it to be about anything that's, specific to me. So.
Get to this point in training camp, like, what's your sense of where this defense is and
I think,
the 2-year process?
I think we're moving in the right direction. Like I said in the opening remarks, I think some of our young players are really showing up positively, whether in practice, in game, and they're really taken to a lot of things, the messages that myself and our coaching staff, give them, as far as taking it from the meeting to the walkthrough to the practice, and then applying it in game. You're really seeing it, and we're able to really show each one of them. We learn this, we walk through this, we practice this. It happens in the game, and that's really our formula. I think our guys are, our young players especially, have taken it to heart, and it's showing up in games, which is good for them, really positive for them, and as we move into a cut down, a week from now, I think some of these young guys are going to make it a hard decision.
Excuse me, Ryan. Where do you see Jihad Ward fitting in on this defense, and how do you value his versatility to line up inside and out?
Yeah, Hadi is about as energetic and brings about as much energy as anybody I've ever been around. So that's just him in a, meeting locker room setting. On the field, it's, disruptive. He's got versatility. He's played inside. He's played outside. He's played, really everywhere on the defensive line. He tells me to let him drop every once in a while. I tell him, you'd rush. So there's some back and forth there. He's smart. He's tough. He's competitive. A lot to like about him. I'm glad he's on our team.
And when Stephon Gilmore is one of the cards you can play.
Definitely excited about Steph being here. Obviously, I have some history with him. His career speaks for itself. The accolades and all, the talent. But it's Steph, the person that you guys will get to know. He's a great human being, a great teammate. He's going to be great for the young guys on our group. Just understanding what it takes to be a professional, his maturity, his toughness, and that's just his kind of global understanding of the game. Specifically in the back end, but this guy knows a lot about football. Quickly yesterday, we had something drawn up, and Harrison Smith sent him on a blitz, and I told Harrison he's not here to blitz, guys. So that was an interesting day one for him.
With all this experience you've got at cornerback now, how might that change the way you call a game this season?
We'll see. Every week is different. We've tried a few different things, during the course of training camp. We're really trying to boil some things down. We met this morning. Hey, what are the things we do well? What are the things we don't do well? Obviously, let's try to steer, our game plan to things we do well, and try to stay away from things we don't do well. Obviously, you put all that and combine it with an actual game plan against an opponent, their strengths, their weaknesses. But there is certainly a lot of versatility, a lot of experience. And our guys, they play hard, they enjoy playing together. So I'm excited about the group.
What have you thought about the progression of the interior defensive line group, just with Levi Drake and Ty Monty and some of those guys?
Yeah. Like I said, those young guys are, showing up consistently. I think there's like this jolt of, speed, athleticism, quickness, that Levi brings. And then, Taki's a little different. He's, it's hard to move him. So they both have strengths in different places, but Taki can move a little bit too, and Levi's, got some strength as well. So it's been good to work with both guys, find out what their strengths are, and just, talk to them about what those strengths are and how to play to those, and then what are the spots where, for the team, not saying you can't do this, but, for the team, you do this and you do this, and that helps everybody.
Ryan, what were you able to learn in the joint practice? It seems like your defense had two very good days there. What can you take away from that experience?
I think Coach Stefanski and, the staff there, it was, they were great to work with. Look, anytime you go up against another colored jersey, you see a difference, some different schematics, you see different body types, and you get to kind of measure yourself against another group. I think you can't really put a price on that. I think it's great for our guys. It's great for us as a coaching staff to evaluate. It's great for our personnel staff to evaluate. Sometimes there's a monotony that happens in training camp where, you kind of know what calls the offense is making. You kind of know what calls the defense is making, and you kind of put yourself in good position. Against another team, you can't do that. You got to play. Play your technique, play your fundamentals, and let it fly. That certainly happened in Cleveland. I thought, especially for the young guys, it was good to see them kind of come alive in that setting, play well, communicate, and I thought it was a really great 2 days and obviously a game.
You like having 2 weeks after the last game to just prepare and practice before the regular season?
I was ready to go 2 weeks ago. As soon as we put on, a couple days in pads and I'm good. But, these are the rules, so, yeah, it does feel like a long time, to answer your question. It feels like, and then they got that 4-day stint in there where they're gone, and then we come back and start over. So, those are the rules. And we adjust and we adjust and create a calendar or a schedule that fits that, but also puts us in position to be able to get, what we want to get done. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to just go and play personally.
The defensive back additions, how much is Kwesi or Kevin kind of leaning on your input with the evaluation of those guys you want to bring in, as opposed to them kind of going through the scouting process independently of that?
Look, there's always constant dialogue. I mean, I would say that's, certainly a collaborative effort, but, more than anything, I probably lean on them. I'm kind of locked in on, what we're doing as a staff and, what we're doing here daily as far as getting ready. And Kwesi and his staff, whether it's Griggs, whether it's DeLuca, whether it's, Chiz, Demetrius, Money, I can go on and on about, the great staff he's got. It's, hey, what about this guy? What about this guy? Have you ever seen this guy? And, collectively we come to a decision. So, I think it's collaborative input. I wouldn't say I have the stamp on all of it. I'll say, I really like Gilmore. I'll say that. But, it's collaborative. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.